K9PIE. Will occur on these frequencies in approximately 5 minutes. Evening. The time is 7:29 p.m. This is the J.C.A.R.A. repeater system KC9PIE. This is KB9EFN, activating the Jennings County Weekly Amateur Radio Net. Our transmitter site is located in Scipio, Indiana, on the WWWY broadcasting tower, courtesy of the White River Broadcasting Company. Net control of this session is KB9EFN, and my name is Randy. Stations with emergency or priority traffic may interrupt this net at any time. The net meets every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. local on the KC9PIE 14525, the KC9TME 442975, both located in Scipio, and the N9JWR 443.025, located in Edinburgh. Membership in any group is not required for participation, and all check-ins are always welcome. When you check into the net this evening, please indicate your name, your call sign phonetically, and your location. If the repeater should happen to fail, we'll move to the last standing repeater or go to 147.585 simplex. In May, that's sort of the severe weather season, so stay tuned to the 442.975 for Central Indiana Skywarn activity and report local activity here on the 145.250. For more information on how to use these repeaters and about Central Indiana Skywarn, you can go to our webpage, which is Jennings County Amateur Radio Association.org, or just Google it, and email me, kb9efn@gmail, if you have any other questions. Be glad to get as many people involved as we can. And the 442.975 is for local counties to feel free to use and monitor, so in case Central Indiana Skywarn calls up your county, it's not a bad idea to have someone listening to that during a weather event, so you can forward information from your county back up there to the National Weather Service office in Indy. I want to also remind everyone that the generous efforts of the Scott County Amateur Radio Group, our neighbors, are performing testing as a service to the amateur radio community. The testing will be this Saturday, the 10th, at 11 a.m., so April 10th, 11 a.m., at the Pacala Center, which is located on the southeast corner of the square in Scottsburg. For more information, you can hit WR9G at WR9G.net. There is a $15 licensing fee, which is soon to increase. So if you know anyone that's working on getting their license, now's the time to do it, or you're going to pay a lot more in the future. With that all said and done, this Saturday, April 10th, 11 a.m., Scottsburg, southeast corner of the square. Get your license upgrade or get a new ham involved in our fun hobby. Is there anyone that has any information or traffic questions they'd like to share with the net tonight? If so, please call now. So, feeling pretty good down here, and I've really been enjoying it. Hope everyone has been as well. Hope everyone had a nice Easter. We'll go ahead. This is also our Aries Races net, so we appreciate all the short time and regular check-ins. That helps us report that, which I will be doing this weekend, and we had an average of about 19 check-ins for each net, so that's fairly impressive. I've listened to a lot of nets and participated in a couple, and we come out farther ahead than some and not as well as others, but all in all, pretty proud of everyone's activity, so thank you all again for that. We'll do short-time check-ins. You know who you are, Alpha through November.
Kilo Charlie 9, Mike Victor Kilo, Rick Seymour, short time, no traffic, no comments.
All right, coming in ahead of you, Rick, was K9BSC, your number 2, Rick. So, David, we appreciate it. K9BSC, we always have that shootout for the first check-in. Like it or not, it's what we do. KC9MVK, thanks for checking in, Rick. We'll go with the regular group now of short-timers, Alpha through November.
KB9EFN, this is WR9G, Stephen Austin, no traffic. Thank you, Randy.
R9G, if so, I'm happy with it. Anyone else short time, Alpha through November? This is the Jennings County Weekly Amateur Radio Net.
N9LGO, November 9, Lima Golf Oscar, Kevin Elizabeth in. IQ, Gerald and Union down. Short time, no comments. Thanks, Randy. November 9, Quebec Victor Oscar, N9QVO, Dave, Shelbyville.
In there, Kevin from E-Town, November 9, Lima Golf Oscar. And then Gerald, Kilo Juliet 9, Quebec, over in Uniontown. Sounding good tonight, both you and Kevin, Gerald. And N9QVO, Dave, always great signal coming in from Shelbyville. We appreciate you greatly getting that northeast corner coverage area check-in, so appreciate it, Dave. Anyone else? We'll go all in alphabet. Alpha through Zulu for short-time check-ins, A through Z.
Jeff over in North Vernon.
Kilo 9, Romeo, Mike Romeo. Repeat, K9RMR, Randall and Rueff, Taylorsville, Bartholomew County. Good evening, Randy, and everybody on the net. Short time this evening.
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Whiskey November. Jeff in our North Vernon service area. And then Randall coming in on the 443.025, K9RMR. Anyone else? Alpha through Zulu, short time. All right, we'll go just the entire alphabet for regular check-ins. We won't break it up since we have low attendance tonight. Alpha through Zulu, all regular check-ins. Please call now.
This is WB9 U.S.A, Kurt Jennings.
This is Kilo Bravo 9, Delta Delta Oscar, Earl Canaan, no traffic.
KB9MGG, Rick, North Vernon.
Copied WB9 USX, Kurt, KB9DDO, Earl over in Canaan, and KB9MGG. All three of you sounding real good tonight. Anyone else for regular check-ins, A through Z? Okie dokie, thanks for checking in there. 12-mile neighbor, KD9LHF, Mike over there in Charlestown. Anyone else? Alpha through Zulu. Six.
Good evening, Randy, everybody on the net. I missed the Zoom meeting tonight. I assume we had it. The first Zoom meeting we had, I was able to get in, but the last one, I was unable to get it because the internet was out due to the ice storm we had. And tonight, I tried and I couldn't get anywhere on that crazy thing. So anyway, I've just got a couple of comments on that. Thinking about if we continue having Zoom meetings, are we going to still be able to remain at the EMA office? Or is Jerry going to want to use that space for something else? So that's about all I had. It's a beautiful day today. I got a little sunburn on my head, but that's okay. And it's supposed to stay like this, hopefully, from now on. So, of course, I guess there's always a chance for frost before May 10th. I don't know. Anyway, you guys take care. Let me know about your comments. This is WB9 USX back in net control.
Okay, Kurt. Well, thank you for the food for thought. I never thought about being evicted out of there due to lack of use, so that's something we should really look at. And we also need to start seriously thinking about getting that radio station there straightened out. I think we could get it all done in one day on a weekend if we just had all the supplies together and just attack it. We should bring that up for the next meeting instead of thinking so much about Freetown. We should really be serious about getting that together because if we need it, and we actually don't have it. So, good point, Kurt. What you missed at the meeting, Jerry was talking more about the frequency that we have coordinated for the Freetown site, but now you've made me want to start thinking about putting that on the back burner and work more towards the EMA office. So that was one of the topics. Rick is working on getting us permission to do the community outreach with us, begging for money on the streets there like the fire department does. So Rick is still working on that. He contacted the mayor's office. I got Skywarn to make a correction on their website where we had been omitted from one of the linked repeater systems, part of that Skywarn. So I think those were the three things. The financial end of it, there were no new contributions, so the balance is the same as it's been for the last couple of months. So that gets you caught up on that, and that's something we need to start seriously thinking about. So for those of you that are in the group, that is what we should probably focus on before we do anything else, is get that taken care of at the EMA Center. And since we're going maskless now, maybe the restrictions will relax a little bit as far as getting access to that building. Thanks, Kurt. Appreciate that. Valuable food for thought. All right, or I'll stop getting bored with the Jennings County amateur radio stuff. What's going on over there in Canaan? KB9DDO.
I guess we got a little news too there. I forgot all about that. We finally got to have a meeting there. We've been having them at Ivy Tech there, but the 911 center opened it up for us there. We cleared each table there. Thank goodness they had a nice big room there where we all spread out and had a real good meeting. And then they took us through the tour of the center, showed us all the TVs there where you could sit up there on the hilltop and see punch in a intersection downtown Madison and see the cars go through it and all that there. It was pretty impressive for a small town like Madison, where they got the phones lined up about like NASA down there. Of course, we don't have that many. I think it's 8 there. And then the master one with a computer behind it, and all the controls there. He kind of overrides them all. But yeah, they had it set up pretty nice there. You know, for a small town, I thought there. So, all in all, they remodeled the old building and made it real nice and got in the corner there was our new 440 repeater that they set up there at the 911 center. I think eventually going to go get it managed over at the hospital there. But anything they're working at it, so it kind of impressed me there. So just everybody take care, have a real good week, and a safe one there, KB9DGO.
Okay, Earl, same to you. Well, thanks for the update on that. Yeah, it's pretty impressive when they'll let you go in there and see how how our tax dollars are spent, and especially when it's put together well, like it sounds like you described. So pretty cool. And then when you guys get that 440 machine on the air, make sure that we know about it here so we can include it if anyone has any questions or wants to discuss what's going on there for Madison. So yeah, when they get that 440 machine up, be sure and let us know. Thanks, Earl. Have a great week coming up and enjoy the weather. Let's move over to Rick, KB9MGG. Rick, thanks for your efforts going through the mayor's office. I think that was a good place to start.
Yeah, good evening, Randy. Yeah, I didn't know where else to start. Started there. They haven't got any response from my calls so far, but hopefully with this email I sent today, they'll be aware of who I am and who our club is and, what we want to do so that then I can make a personal contact with the mayor and hopefully he can send us in the right direction. And as far as future meetings, I talked to Jerry last week and we decided it might be best to go ahead and hold a Zoom meeting this time. But I know that we definitely were talking about getting, back to having our regular meetings sometime soon. So, with that, I guess we'll see how things go and make a decision about that later. And that's about all I think I have to comment on tonight. Hopefully I'll get some information back from the mayor's office and then we can proceed with that. But, and I also wanted to say that I would be available most weekends if some time, I can make sure and block some time out for that. And with that, Randy, I'll turn it back over to you, KB9MGG.
Okie dokie, appreciate it. Yeah, I think we need to do that. And then also, I forgot to mention that it's going to be spring, early summer weed eating fun there at the tower site. So those are a couple of things that I forgot to mention. I wrote them down, so we'll bring that up next time. And maybe get back to in-person meeting. Maybe we could do like they did Madison, have a chair at every table. We got enough tables, and we certainly have enough chairs. All right, let's move over to, that's it. We're at the bottom. There is nobody else. Anybody want to check in here before we shut down? It was kind of a short net, but certainly be welcome to hear from anyone. Alpha through Zulu, please call out. This is the Jennings County Weekly Amateur Radio Net, and I have not ID'd KB90FM.
This is U.S.A with a comment.
U.S.A, go ahead, sir.
Last time I talked to Randy, the EMA building is open. We want to use it. Now that the COVID threat is winding down, we're in the blue now. It's possible, if we want to, we could have a meeting there. And the other thing, it just slipped my mind. If we want to continue with this Zoom thing, maybe we ought to alternate it with an in-person meeting at the EMA Center. So I don't know, it's something we really need to discuss. So anyway, pass back to you, Randy. This is WB9USX.
Good deal. All right, well, we'll put that on the agenda, see what we can't do. I would certainly, since I haven't seen anyone in so long, I'm ready to drive up there. I'll spend that hour. And things are starting, I don't want to jinx it, but we're starting to get some people trained up that do what I do. So maybe we'll be off that, having to be in early every day, 3 days a week. That makes it a lot easier for me to make that drive up there. So thanks, Kurt, for the fill-in on that. Anyone else? Alpha through Zulu for the Jennings County Weekly Amateur Radio Net. All right, everybody enjoy the week. We'll be back next week, same time, 7:30. We appreciate everyone's participation and look forward to speaking with you next week. If there's any of information that you want to pass along, you can always email me, kb90fn@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week, 73. Thanks for everyone's participation.
This is N9CJT. Is there anyone on frequency who would like to call the net this evening? I heard a couple of kerchunks, but no audio. Is there anyone on frequency who would like to call the South Central Area net this evening? One more time, is there anyone on frequency who would like to call the South Central Area net this evening? CQ, the South Central Area net. This is N9CJT, November 9, Charlie Juliet Tango. My name is Noel, N-O-E-L. I will be serving as your net control for this session of the South Central Area net. This net meets every Tuesday evening, beginning at 8:30 p.m. local time on the Columbus Amateur Radio Club 2-meter repeater. We're operating on a frequency of 146.790 megahertz, minus offset, and a PL tone of 103.5. We meet for the purpose of passing traffic, promoting fellowship among amateur radio operators, and practicing net procedures. To begin with, do we have any stations holding emergency or priority traffic? Please call N9CJT. Any non-emergency, in other words, routine traffic for the net? Apparently no traffic of any kind. When checking in this evening, please state your name, then give your FCC call sign in plain English as well as using standard ITU phonetics. Does anyone have an announcement for the net this evening? Please call. Hearing no one, Net Control has one announcement. For those of you not on the Columbus Amateur Radio Club email reflector, just wanted to let you know that Jim N9KVX has been appointed the state RACES radio officer. Jim served for many years as the RACES radio officer for Bartholomew County. He's now been appointed to a state-level position. Congratulations to Jim. And that's the only announcement I have. Does anyone else have an announcement? This is N9CJT, Net Control for the South Central Area Net this evening. Next, we'll take short time check-ins. That is, stations which check in short time and have no interest in making comments later. So, stations wanting to simply go in and out for the count, please call now. I thought I heard two distinctly different voices, one after the other, but neither one of you was holding up the repeater well enough to tell who you are or anything other than the repeater kerchunk. So, if you can boost power or direct your beam antenna toward the east side of Columbus, or climb up on a higher stool, or go outdoors, or whatever it takes to get into the repeater, please try again. Again, short time stations, please come now.
Kilo 9 Romeo Mike Romeo, repeat, K9RMR, Randall and Rueff, Taylorsville, Bartholomew County. Good evening, Noel, and everybody on the net.
Kilo Bravo 9, Delta Oscar, Earl, Madison.
Whiskey Bravo 9, Sierra Mike Charlie, WB9 SMC, Don, Bartholomew County. Good evening, Noel on the route. No comments this evening.
November, Tango, 9, Whiskey, NT, 9W, David, Lawrence County. No comments.
Kilo 9, Juliet, Tango, Victor, Jeff, Martinsville, no traffic, short time.
I copied K9RMR. Good evening, Randall. KB9DDO, Earl. Welcome to the net. WB9SMC, Don. Good to hear you. And very clearly copied NT9W, David from Lawrence County, and K9JTV, Jeff in Martinsville. Any corrections? With the South Central Area Net. We'll now begin taking regular check-ins. Check-ins are handled by order of call sign suffix. The first letter following the number in your call establishes that order. So if that first letter after the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, or even 0 is Alpha through Hotel, please call now. Okay, we'll move on to suffixes India through Romeo, please call.
K9JAJ, Kilo 9, Juliet Alpha, Juliet, Jeff in Columbus, Bartholomew County. Good evening.
P4KOQ, good evening.
KD9QPN, Kilo Delta 9, Quebec, Papa, November, Mike, Bartholomew County.
KD9RPB, Kilo Delta 9, Romeo Papa, Bravo, Bruce from Columbus.
That also was a good group. Let me make sure I'm not doubling with someone. Net Control recognizes K9JAJ. Good evening, Jeff. KE4KOQ. Hi, Buford. Good to hear you. KD9, QPN Mike. Good evening to you. And KD9RPB Bruce. Thank you all for checking in regular, and I'll be back to you for comments in not too distant future. Do we have any other stations in the India through Romeo group? Sierra through Zulu. Any stations wishing to check into the Columbus Amateur Radio Club net? I'm sorry, gave the wrong name. The South Central Area net this evening. Please call. With the South Central Area net. Any additional check-ins anywhere in the alphabet, Alpha through Zulu, please call now. Good evening, Jeff. Any comments from you? K9JAJ from N9CJT in the group.
K9CJT, K9JAJ, good evening, Noel, and everyone else that might be listening still. No comments really. Just want to let everyone know that 2 weeks from tonight, the South Central Indiana Communication Support Group will be providing free licensing testing at 6 p.m. at the East Columbus Fire Hall on Rep Drive. If you have any further questions, you can contact our group leader, Mike, at W9MDT at ARRL.net. We'd like you to have pre-registration through Mike, and he can give you all the details there. Mike cannot more than likely be reached via radio. He's still setting up his ham shack after moving to Greene County. So I would email him if you have any further questions. Hope to see some of you there. I'll send it back to you, Noel. Thanks for picking it up for Joe tonight. I'm sure he appreciates it. N9CJT from K9JJ, back to Net Control.
Thank you, Jeff. Just to cover that announcement, the South Central Indiana Communications Support Group VE team will be giving amateur radio exams for those who wish to become licensed or upgrade 2 weeks from tonight at the East Columbus Independent Fire Department on Rep Drive in southeastern Columbus. Those of you who would like to schedule an exam with them for that time, contact W9MDT, that's Whiskey 9 Mike Delta Tango at ARRL.net. Hope I got all that right. Next up is Buford, KE4KOQ. Any comments this evening, sir?
Well, not much going on around here. Anyway, I've had both of my Cobra vaccine shots, and just sitting here, not into much of anything. But anyway, I had planned to check in to this net tonight anyway. So as I said, not much going on around here. Good to hear everybody out there tonight, and I hope Joe is feeling all right. So anyway, everyone have a good evening. Thank you very much. KE4KOQ, back to net.
Thank you, Buford. It's always good to hear you check in and to hear you check in on other nets like the Indiana Traffic Net on 3910 and even the Mid-State Amateur Radio Club Net, which meets Sunday nights at 7. Is it 7 o'clock, Buford? Do I have that right? On 146.835.
Ah, what net was that?
That's the Mid-State Amateur Radio Club net up in Johnson County. I think they meet at 7 on Sundays. I was hoping that was correct. Over.
Well, for some strange reason, I'm just not up on it, but I'm sure that's right.
Okay, no problem. I figured you might know since you're becoming a regular there. So thank you for your comments, and I'll break with you and move on to Mike, KD9QPN. Any comments from you this evening?
N9CJT, this is KD9QPN. Mike, good evening. Noel and everybody on the net. Not a lot new. Got some new toys to play with and worked on them a little bit, and also got my computer working and hooked up to my radio and did some FT8 contacts over the weekend, so had some fun with that. And interesting, seemed to have just as much luck at 10 watts as I was at 20 or 30, so I guess power isn't everything. But anyway, that's about it. Looking forward to another test in a couple weeks and get another ticket before they start charging for license upgrades. And then not have to watch the bottom of the phone band so closely when I am dialing around listening. But other than that, that's about it for me. So, night everybody. N9CGT, this is KD9QPN, back to net control.
Thanks, Mike. Glad to hear you're upgrading again. And I think you'll enjoy all those privileges. Moving on to Bruce, KD9RPB. Good evening, sir. Anything from you tonight?
Good evening, N9CJT. No, this is KD9RPB. No, not much going on. Just trying to catch up on some spring stuff outside here lately. I cut the tree down that I planted first when I had my house built. It was growing crooked, and I was afraid it was going to fall in the house either later when it got big, so it was just easier to take care of now. But other than that, mowed grass today. Not doing a whole lot of radio stuff as of late. I've been too busy. But looking to help Randall this weekend on his antenna project. Back to net control.
Okay, Bruce. Well, thank you for saying that about Randall and his antenna project. I completely forgot to announce that there will be, weather permitting, an antenna party at Randall's next door neighbor. They are donating to Randall a 50-foot tower, and it needs to come down off their property and be moved over to Randall so that he will be able to start scraping and sanding and various other preparations prior to painting the tower. Just so listeners know, Randall is not physically able to participate in the taking down of the tower. So that's why Bruce has volunteered to do that. Looks like I'm going to be helping you some, Bruce. And we need maybe at least one more person to help out. So if anyone wants to join in, please let us know. We also need a climbing belt or climbing harness for Bruce to use. And we need a tower jack that can be used to pry apart each section, well, pry up each section off the one below it in case it's rusted into place any. Probably not if it was put up right in the first place, but still a jack really helps because trying to wrestle one of those up and off there by hand is difficult, to say the least. With that, let me go back to anyone else interested in checking in for the South Central Area Net this evening. N9CJT.
K9RMR.
Hey, Randall, go ahead.
Yeah, we also we need to confirm an actual time. I know we talked about 9 or 10. I need to obviously contact that family as to what time we're going to be there. I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be any problem, but I figured I would, set down at an actual time so I can, make sure that they know when we're going to be there.
Bruce, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and actually, personally, I prefer 10, but I can be swayed. And what do you think?
10 o'clock's fine with me. I've got pretty much all day open.
Okay. Well, Randall, let's call it 10 o'clock, but let them know if there's a blizzard or a rainstorm or something of that sort where it's not really a good idea or safe, that we'll postpone it, okay?
Yeah, that sounds good. I think we're supposed to have good weather, so I think it'll be okay. I'll let them know 10 o'clock sounds good. Listen, I appreciate both of you guys helping out. I really do. I'm kind of excited to get this project underway. So, like I said, I really appreciate it. And with that, I'll send it back to Net Control.
Kilo, Charlie, 9, Uniform, November, India, Charles, or Charlie in Bedford. Short time there, guys.
Okay, Charlie, I didn't type fast enough. Kilo Charlie 9, was it November Uniform India or Uniform November India? Over.
Uniform November India. Like I said, don't have much of it coming. I didn't get your handle there.
The name here is Noel, November Oscar Echo Lima, and the call is N9CJT, November 9 Charlie Juliet Tango. Thanks for checking in. Anything else to comment on, Charlie?
Just hoping we keep this good weather around for a while. Now, you guys, is this a net that's on every Tuesday evening?
Local time on this frequency. Over.
Oh well, we thank you. Have yourself a good evening and good day tomorrow. KC9 U.S.A. back to net.
N9CJT with the South Central Area Net. Are there any additional check-ins for the net? Columbus Amateur Radio Club meets at 8 p.m. this Thursday via Zoom, and Bruce, K9RPB, that's Kilo Delta 9 Romeo Papa Bravo, is the person who sends out the Zoom invitations and oversees the operation of the Zoom software. And if anyone on frequency wishes to join in on that meeting, it's open to the public. You just have to let Bruce know you want, and he will send you the invitation so that you can jump in. Again, that's the Columbus Amateur Radio Club regular April meeting. Always meets the second Thursday of the month. Right now we're meeting via Zoom, and the person to contact to get that Zoom invitation is Kilo Delta 9 Romeo Papa Bravo, Bruce. And Bruce, just double checking, is your email address good on QRZ?
K9RPB. Yes, it is good.
Okay, well, there you go. If you can access QRZ, you should be able to get Bruce's email address. I think that's covered everything with no more announcements, no additional check-ins. Is there any further business for the net before I close? South Central Area Net. Thank you all for checking in. Everyone have a great week, the rest of it. We're supposed to have some iffy weather some of the time, but nothing terrible that I know of. And maybe we'll even get some more rain to increase the amount of grass that we have to mow. Anyway, again, this is N9CJT saying 7-3. Thanks, everyone. The net is free and N9CJT is clear.